G'day, and welcome back to episode 3 of the Chunky Nadz Varlamore 1 Chunk Extreme-ish Ironman. So, what have I been up to since completing the 40 thieving grind? Well, we have been picking a lot of corn. We've got a little over 2,300 corn, which will formulate a big part of the cooking grind, the 58 cooking grind for the pita bread. So 2,300 corn will not kick in until we hit level 28. So we've got a little ways to go to get there first. We've got some plenty of cooking and some killing, and the unfortunate recipient of death is the majestic buffalo. Before we get into that, let's queue up a few levels. Just channel that level up simulator from the previous episode. We got 20 attack, just casually on its way. A little bit of strength training now. It looks like just conveniently got 20 strength lined up too. But let's just have a little zero fest with this guard while he eviscerates me with as minimal food in the inventory as possible. There's 20 defense. Almost like we forgot to get the strength level. We've got an inventory full of cheese, and we are now flinching. This is our first guard kill, or first attempted guard kill on the account. Obviously, we do have an infinite source of food overall, but we don't necessarily want to use it on the one guard. But there we have it, 3 earth runes, some juicy bones. I think we'll bury those rather than feed them to the hound. And let's make our way to the main purpose, the start of this video. So first goal here is going to be level 28 cooking. The only viable source of this is buffalo at 30 XP or cooking XP per murdered cow. There is an alternative way to do this. We can hop worlds, pick potatoes, and bake those for 15 XP per. At a rough calc, we need about 361 buffalo, 722 baked potatoes. It's going to be a significant fail rate on both of these, and I think the smartest thing for the account is going to be taking out these buffaloes. So I'm hoping, at least initially, we stockpile some of our cheese. We use the 2 heal food to try and get through a few of these cows and try and get our cook on. Hope that we can turn this field full of buffalo into food for the account and make it some self-sustaining murder. There is nothing better than self-sustaining murder in old school RuneScape. You can kill, you can cook, and you can eat. And there's the cooking grind. Let's take a quick pause there over the ramble and have a note at level 3 cooking. These levels, outside of a exorbitant burn rate, they're going to come in pretty quickly. So there's 4 cooking already. This is the first inventory. You'll see a few husks of corn at the bottom side here too. We low on health. Let's go and pick a few bit of corn, grab some cabbage, feed up on those, and go back to killing some cows. So that's already level 5 off the first inventory. It's still a pretty chunky burn rate at 42%, 45%. That's going to be a record for most burned in one hit. Continuing with the myrtle of cows with our newfangled meat. Nobody enjoys a piece of meat much more than Chunky Nadz. So let's see how we go getting some of these hombres down, getting them onto the range and chomping on some juicy steak. That's another buffalo down. Let's get our hands on that juicy meat and slap it on the oven. Just flying through these levels now, realistically. We need a little over 10,000 XP for level 28, so it's a bit of a grind to go. There's 10 cooking. But once we get this out of the way, we should have some decent levels and be able to move on to what should be pretty quick. Cheeky lamp in the bottom of the inventory there as we progress to give the guards another shot. We've got a big amount of defense XP here, so feeling like we should be able to hold our own relatively well. There we go. Knock him down. And we've got some iron bolts. That is going to trigger a future backlog for the account. We, I think it's 28 range. We need to equip these. There's no way of training range in the short term here. So once we unlock a range training method, we will need to make our way to 28 range to equip the iron bolts as our best in slot for a short period of time as we make 30 attack. Nice round number. Get that stake into you, buddy. And finishing off 30 strength as well. 36 combat. Let's finish this hombre off and see what's next. Whew. Well, that's a best in slot. I think you'll only find chunk band accounts that are going to celebrate this. So, holy dooly, an iron dagger. This is one of the worst weapons you can get, but sadly, this is our best in slot for this chunk, and you know, hopefully we can roll something where we can get something a little bit better, but we get the slightest of stats in stab and strength, and hopefully that's enough to make kills a little faster anyway. Cheeky little prayer level there, 18. More bones in a graveyard. But more importantly, after grabbing the cheese, let's slap that beef on the barbie. All going well. 6 slabs of beef, we can't fail enough to not get the level. There it is, 28 cooking. Beef and buffalo slaughtering is complete. The abattoir is empty, and we are now out to offend the vegans and cook up 2,300 husks of corn. Oh man, these 104 XP drops, they are so free. $29. The sweet experience that is 104 XP per piece of corn cooked. We're already at level 30, only a couple of minutes into the grind. Hopefully on our way now. Looking at about I was going to say 27% burn rate, but we've had a pretty bad run with it lately, and we're now looking at a 30% burn rate. A little bit concerning. It took a lot of time to get all that corn. I don't really want to have to keep doing runs here, but let's just see how we go. We should be just about at 35. And there we are, 35 cooking. Only 23 more levels to go. $40 cooking on the level up simulator. $50 cooking. And there's a 55 chef. Only 3 levels to go. Very exciting moment coming up for the account here. We are about to finally hit 58 cooking, and that is the final of our chunk goals. We've got a little over 100 corn left, so we are going to cook those before we roll a chunk. Before we cook some pita bread, then we'll go and roll a chunk. 58 cooking grind complete, and now it is time to complete the last task of the chunk, a pita bread. So first we're going to turn this flour and water into some dough. Let's head on down to the range and get our chef on. Cook me some pita dough, and that is chunk task complete. Well, with both chunk goals out of the way, our 40 thieving for a guard pickpocket and the 58 pita bread done and dusted, there is only one thing left to do. So let us bring up the chunk roller and let's find out what we're about to unlock. And here we are, Chunky Nadz about to roll for the first unlocked chunk. We have 4 options available to us. First one to the north, Quality headquarters. We've got a gravestone, armory shop, looks like an anvil. There's a dummy, which we're not going to need. A couple of dungeons here. We've got the bazaar, that is Death Chunk, Spoon, Crack with a K, can attest to that. This is, not going to say we don't want this, there is a lot of content in here, but this is a grind. Avian Savannah to the south, there's not terribly much to do here. We've got a mill, we've got a cooking range, we've got a master farmer in here so we can get our thief on for some farming supplies. And chunk 4 here, we have an unlockable farming patch, which will give us a bit of a grind as well. Don't believe we can do anything with this hunter spot. We do have a farming shop, dairy cowbell for some ring-a-ding-ding. So let's tick off this 58 cooking task. And let's get our chunk on. So while we've got the chunk rolling in the background, figure we'll call it a wrap. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Look forward to catching you in the next episode, and let's start that one off by revealing what we've rolled.